You would never speak to your best friend the way you speak to yourself. Think about that for a second. If your friend came to you and said, "I'm so stupid. I'm ugly. I'm not good enough," you'd stop them. You'd comfort them. You'd remind them of every reason they're wrong. You'd stay on the phone with them for 2 hours if that's what it took. But when that voice is in your own head, you don't just let it speak. You agree with it. You nod along. You say, "Yeah, you're right," and then you go help someone else. This isn't just a quirk of personality. It's not low confidence. It's not being hard on yourself. What's actually happening inside your mind is far more calculated, far more ancient, and far deeper than most people realize. And today, we're going to pull it apart. Completely. Here's something that will make you uncomfortable. In a 2013 study, researchers asked participants to rate voice recordings for attractiveness. What the participants didn't know, their own voice was hidden in the mix. The result? They rated their own voice higher than the others, but the moment they were told which one was theirs, their rating dropped instantly. The hatred didn't appear when they didn't know it was them. It only appeared the moment they found out. Which means this isn't about being realistic or objective. This is a reflex, a trained automatic rejection of the self, and it shows up everywhere. A friend cancels plans. You say they're probably exhausted. You cancel plans. You call yourself a flake, unreliable, a bad person. A colleague makes a mistake at work. It happens to everyone. You make the same mistake. "I'm incompetent. I always do this." A friend posts something awkward online and gets no likes. Poor thing, people are so cold. You post something and get no response. Of course. Why would anyone care what I have to say? Same event, two completely different moral systems. One for the world, one for yourself. And the one for yourself is brutal. And what makes it even stranger, you don't even notice you're doing it. It happens so fast, so automatically, that it just feels like thinking. It feels like the truth. The question is, why does this gap even exist at all? Picture this person. And be honest, because this person might be you. Someone in their life is struggling. A friend going through a breakup, a colleague overwhelmed at work, a family member who just made a terrible decision. And this person, without hesitation, drops everything. They listen. They stay up late. They say all the right things. They make that person feel seen, feel safe, feel like they matter. They are incredible at being there for other people. But go home with them at the end of that night, sit with them in the quiet, and watch what happens. They replay a comment someone made to them 3 days ago. They convince themselves they said something wrong at dinner. They look in the mirror and find every reason to be disappointed. They lie awake thinking about all the ways they are not enough, while the person they just spent 4 hours comforting is fast asleep, feeling better because of them. They think about that one awkward silence from last week and wonder what they did wrong. They scroll through their phone, look at someone else's life, and feel that familiar sinking feeling. Why can't I just have it together like that? And then they wake up the next morning, put a smile on, and go be everything to everyone again. This is the specific kind of person this video is about. Not someone who is generally unhappy, not someone who lacks empathy. Actually, the opposite. These are often the most empathetic, most giving, most understanding people in every room they walk into. They just have a blind spot, and the blind spot is themselves. They have a full first aid kit for everyone else's wounds, and they've been bleeding quietly for years. Here's where it gets interesting. Because this isn't a coincidence. The kindness and the self-hatred, they come from the same place. Think about how this person learned to exist in the world. At some point, early probably, they figured out that keeping the peace was safer than expressing a need. That being helpful made them valuable. That if they could just be good enough, understanding enough, agreeable enough, low maintenance enough, they would be okay. Maybe it was a household where love felt conditional, where praise only came when you performed, where showing vulnerability made things worse, not better. So you learned quietly, without anyone telling you, that the way to stay safe was to be needed, to be the good one, the easy one, the one who never caused problems. So they got very, very good at reading other people, at sensing discomfort and dissolving it, at putting others first so naturally it stopped feeling like a choice. It just became who they are, and people love them for it. They're the friend everyone calls, The person colleagues lean on. The one who remembers your birthday, checks in when you're quiet, notices when something's off before you've even said a word. But here's the cost nobody talks about. When you spend years making yourself smaller so others can feel bigger. When your entire sense of safety is built on being needed, being liked, being the stable one, you stop knowing how to extend that same grace inward. You're fluent in a language of kindness. You speak it to everyone. Except you never learn to speak it to yourself. And so the same sensitivity that makes you so good at understanding others gets turned inward, and instead of producing understanding, it produces scrutiny. You notice every flaw, every shortcoming, every moment you fell short of the person you think you should be. You hold yourself to a standard you would never apply to another human being, and when you don't meet it, and you never fully do, the verdict is always the same: not enough. The very thing that makes you extraordinary to everyone else is quietly destroying you from the inside. Let me describe something you might recognize. Someone comes to you with a problem, a real one, heavy, and you listen, genuinely, completely. You sit with their pain. You help them carry it. And when they leave, they feel lighter. But you're still holding it. Because that's what you do. You absorb. You process other people's emotions so thoroughly that sometimes you can't tell the difference between what's yours and what you've taken on from someone else. You carry your friend's breakup stress on Monday, your colleague's work anxiety on Tuesday, your family's unspoken tension on Wednesday, and by Thursday you're exhausted and you don't even know why, because technically nothing happened to you. And then on top of that, you add your own self-criticism. Because while you were being endlessly patient with that person, you were also quietly judging yourself. Did I say the right thing? Was I helpful enough? I should have done more. Even your kindness becomes a source of self-attack. And nobody sees this. Because from the outside, you look fine. You look better than fine. You look like the person who has it together, the one who helps others, the one who is always okay. So nobody checks on you. And even if they did, you'd probably say you're fine. You'd deflect with a joke or turn it back around to ask about them. Because making yourself a burden to someone else, that might be the thing you fear most. There is almost something that feels wrong about needing help, like it's a sign of weakness. Like you should be able to handle this, because you help others handle things all the time, so why can't you do it for yourself? So you keep going, being everything to everyone, running on empty and telling nobody, and at night, alone, that's when the voice shows up. The one that says you're not doing enough, not good enough, not enough. And unlike the people you spent all day comforting, there's nobody there to tell you that you're wrong. You've probably been told to love yourself more times than you can count. And every time you hear it, something in you resists it. It feels fake, forced. Like putting on a costume that doesn't fit. You might have even tried it. The affirmations in the mirror, the gratitude journal. The good vibes only phase that lasted about 11 days, and each time the same thing happened. The voice came back louder and more convincing than anything you'd written in that journal. And honestly, that resistance makes sense, because love yourself is too big, too far from where you are right now. You've spent so long being the person who takes care of everyone else, that the idea of turning that care inward feels almost selfish. Like you'd be taking something that doesn't belong to you. So here's a smaller ask. Not love, not even self-acceptance. Just try being as fair to yourself as you are to a stranger. Not your best friend, not someone you love, a stranger. If a stranger told you they made a mistake at work, you wouldn't tell them they're incompetent. If a stranger said they were struggling, you wouldn't tell them they're weak. If a stranger showed you something they made, something they were proud of, you wouldn't pick it apart and list everything wrong with it. You'd give them basic human decency. You give that to strangers every day. People you've never met. People who have done nothing for you. You give it freely, without thinking, without conditions. You are the only person in your life you haven't extended it to. The second thing, and this one matters, stop treating your kindness to others as proof that you're okay. Because some people use busyness and giving as a way to avoid going inward. As long as they're focused on fixing someone else's life, they don't have to look at their own. As long as they're needed, they don't have to ask whether they're okay. If this is you, you know it. You feel it when the helping stops and the silence starts. That slight panic when there's nothing to fix, No one to take care of, no task to throw yourself into. That silence isn't something to escape. That silence is somewhere to finally be honest. You are not too sensitive. You are not too much. You are not broken. You are someone who never learned that the care you give so freely to others was always meant for you too. So here is who this video was really about. It was about the person who will share this with someone else before they ever admit it's about them. It was about the person who is everyone's safe place and has never had one of their own. It was about the person who can talk a friend out of their darkest thoughts at 2 a.m. and then turn around and think those exact same thoughts about themselves at 3 a.m. It was about the person who can find the good in absolutely anyone and genuinely cannot find it in themselves. You have spent your whole life proving that you are worthy of love through what you do for other people. And everyone around you has benefited from that. They are better, safer, and more whole because you exist. But I want you to sit with one question tonight. Not a big one, not a life-changing one. Just this. If a friend spoke about themselves the way you speak about yourself, what would you say to them? Whatever that answer is, that's what you deserve to hear too. Not when you've earned it. Not when you fixed everything about yourself. Not when the gap finally closes between who you are and who you think you should be. Right now, as you are, you already know exactly how to give this. You do it every single day for everyone around you. The only thing left is finally, for once, turning it toward yourself.